All right, folks, Nathan here from Star Wars Beyond the Films, the Star Wars Timeline Gold, and of course Cloud City Casino, a Star Wars gaming podcast at StarWarsReport.com, where we will have an episode on Jedi Challenges in the very near future. Going to bring you some more gameplay here from Jedi Challenges. I am using the screen capture ability for iOS 11 on an Apple iPhone 7 to capture this inside the headset. Now, I'm going to try to show you here a couple of different things. We're going to be taking a look at basically all the three modes, right? So you're going to get to see it from my view instead of seeing it from the view that you had last time I did some of these videos, which is basically a camera pointing at me while I play, so you can see what type of motions you have to do to motion control the lightsaber part, for instance, of the game. We're going to be taking a look at all three of the modes, as I said. We have the first mode that we're going to take a look at, which is the lightsaber battle. Then we have the so-called strategic combat, which is like an RTS kind of thing. And then Holochess, which is essentially Dejaric. And in the case of these, I'm going to show you just some combined footage here, captured at different times on the same day, edited all together so that you can see what different modes are available. So here we have our starting screen. Tap to continue, lets you know, okay, did I do everything correctly? You do have to set it up with the Bluetooth lightsaber controller. You do have to calibrate the controller by doing some figure eights with it. Put your tracking beacon, which is the glowing orb, down on the ground. Plug your cable into your phone. Put the stopper down to fit the size of your phone. Stick the phone into the tray. Stick the tray into the unit. And then get going. Swipe. This then lets you choose the size. If your phone is natively supported, it'll automatically tell you what size it should be. It'll sense it. So here we are. We've got our wide view. That'll be split in half, one thing projecting to each eye. So what you will see in widescreen is both sides. So essentially one half of the screen being what I would see combined together here. And then notice the black area underneath, the tray does block out a little bit because that's going to be too large to be able to fit the way that your eyes naturally work within the headset here. If you have a phone that is smaller than this, like an iPhone 5S, like I originally tried it with, it's going to be sort of off-center to the right. The lightsaber won't really seem to match up with the saber blade, in my opinion, just from my experience. The targeting reticle will be a little bit off to the right. It's a little bit frustrating. It's not an ideal size. You're going to want something about a 4.7 inch or bigger screen, preferably 4.7, to be able to use this well. So I'm going to hit launch. Now you're seeing what I would see. Now I have to put the phone into the unit. Okay, and then I tighten it on top, tighten it on bottom, close the tray. Then the tray goes into the headset, thunkety thunkety thunk, and once in the headset, gets plugged in by USB to Lightning, in this case, connector. Put on the headset. What you are seeing is basically what both of my eyes are having projected to me. For me, it is all one combined stereoscopic 3D image in front of me, and because it is a black background, it's able to project and basically just dim my surroundings, but I can still see my surroundings through it, and all the stuff being projected onto it image-wise, like the image of the tray there, or press any button to continue, is basically floating in my vision of my room. Press any button to continue. Again, targeting reticle. We have 5 planets to choose from. I've unlocked just a few here. We got Naboo, Garel, Lothal, Hoth, Takodana, and Core. Gonna jump to Naboo. Each planet is gonna give you different options here, 3 different game types, and you can always look up and go back to the menus. We've got that ground-based combat, like a RTS kind of game there. You've got the lightsaber battle, and you've got Dejaric. Now, for lightsaber duels, we're actually going to look here at Darth Maul, except I'm going to do it so you can actually hear the sound of the game for this one. And then we're going to check out the Seventh Sister, and that one I'll do some commentary over so you can hear me instead of the game. And then we'll be coming back with no commentary so you can hear the game itself for some of the first bits here of the RTS style game and the Dejaric style game here. Okay? So, let's get some sound going on here, which basically means I need to turn off the device and restart the recording and everything else. But really, we're going to have sound, I promise.
Wise to be afraid. The dark side is more powerful than you know. Your fear still makes you weak. I will hunt you down again.
Roger, roger.
First, remember to assume your Jedi battle stance. Activate your blade. Now you must center yourself and your blade in the Force. Very good. You're centered. The Force flows through you and your blade. It's time for the first wave. Watch for opponents. That battle droid is outside of striking range, but you can block his fire. Place your saber in the path of the blaster bolts. Nice work, but be careful. Another wave of enemies is approaching.
Drop your weapons. Stand back. I hope that doesn't mean we're next. Drop your weapons. Roger, roger. Bad feeling about this. Stop. Yes, sir.
Enemies appear brighter when they're striking. Will these waves ever stop, you ask? Not until I decide you're ready.
Surrender to me or face the consequences. Roger, roger.
Reinforcements incoming.
Wait until your enemies are in range to strike with your blade.
Reinforcements incoming.
Alright, so you've seen me do a little bit of the duel mode, or the lightsaber battle mode, with some battle droids with the game sound. Now let's check out some stormtroopers with some commentary, and then the Seventh Sister with some commentary. Alright, so I am jumping into a lightsaber duel against basically stormtroopers on Garel. Activate the lightsaber. You can't see it, but it's lined up with the end of my saber here, my saber controller. And essentially you can block these blaster bolts. They turn red right before they shoot. Ah! And once they get close enough, you can kill them. I've gotten shot a couple times here. And wave 2. Scout troopers are essentially sniper troopers here. You have to be real careful about blocking their shots because they do a shitload of damage. I'd forgotten that these guys can actually fire off 2 shots if they're kneeling. Essentially, they stay far away, shooting, but as they move closer, eventually they sort of light up. And then you can step forward and slash through them. And if your blade seems like it's off at all, you have a recentering button as long as it's within your gaze. You're again, it's kind of slashing, can't get to him yet. Can get you. Oh. And block. Chop. Come on, sonny boy. Victory! You've defeated your enemies. Press any button on the lightsaber. And it retracts. Let's check out the Seventh Sister. A little bit more complicated. Activate your lightsaber to begin. Bzzz. What's up? Okay, that's spinny. That's a good trick thing. That kind of sucks. So he's telling you essentially where to block. It's your force sense, they call it. What's up? Do the blocking just right. And you get an opportunity for a powerful attack. Come on. Come at me, bro. Or sis. There we go. Got her gauge up there in the corner. Now she launches her little dudes. I now have my force push ability active. Her little dudes try to shoot you. Eat it. That's me using my force push ability to break through her pattern there. Hers is kind of tough though, because you gotta like that, where she can actually rotate when she's spinning her blade. And this is her lowest difficulty setting. As you defeat enemies and whatnot, you can up your difficulty. Come on. Bonk. Oh, no. Little dudes. Block, block, block. And she is down. Yeah, eat it. Ta-da! Yes, so that is the way your lightsaber duels basically work. Force attunement telling you where to block, and then attacking when you can. Block enough times in a row. They are staggered. You hit them. You got some specific moves that'll do extra damage, and they usually have some kind of gimmick, like in this case, the little droids.
Welcome to Holochess. The Holochess variation you will learn has been played for millennia. Let the Force be your guide as you move your pieces. You will begin by playing a pre-programmed opponent. The Mantelian Savrep will be your first piece. Though it is slow, few creatures can survive the power of its punch. It's your turn. Select your Savrep and a tile to move it to. It moves 1 space per turn. Your turn. Use your gaze and the crosshair to make selections. Now it's the program's turn. I have given it a Holochess and a creature called the Kenton Strider. Be mindful of it, for what was gone can sometimes return. just as nothing is lost in the Force. Your opponent's turn. It's your turn. The program has moved its Kenton Strider closer to your Savrip. Interesting. Select an adjacent creature to attack. The Savrip easily overpowers the Strider, demonstrating that great force is sometimes needed to pacify an opponent. It's your turn. It's your turn. Select a creature. You must choose your centerpiece, the Holochess. Holochess are fast, ferocious beasts that can move up to 4 spaces. Congratulations! You have won your first match of Holochess. As a reward, you've unlocked a new creature that Kenton. Let's give you a chance to put it in the field. Kenton Striders may not be the strongest, but they can regenerate. See if you can use your Strider to defeat these Hoojiks. Striders move 2 spaces a turn. It's your turn. Your opponent's turn. It's your turn. Your opponent's turn. When hurt, the Kenton Strider starts to heal itself at the end of a turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. Not bad. Now let's take that Strider into your first real match.
Alright, so now let's check out those modes again with some commentary so I can explain to you what exactly is happening here. Alright, so it looks like this entire little area has appeared in my room, although kind of floating above everything because of just the nature of the room itself. I think they would expect you to be sitting. I'm standing for this, but I can look around and see everything. There's my droid there, and then I've got my Starfinders. I need to get 4 astromechs over here safely to get in there and escape. My side is in yellow. The enemy side is in red. Okay? I am basically going to be controlling by using my lightsaber as essentially kind of a pointing device. So first thing I got to do is point with the crosshairs that are basically the center of my view. So turn my head and point to the droid and press the activation matrix button, which is the thumb button on the lightsaber. Astromech starts running out of here to get over there and get to one of the ships. And I need to keep calling them. Okay. Now here come my troops without me doing anything. Here comes the enemy. I put the controller up and I see the different things I can grab. I select one. I then just sort of move it around and press the button to drop it. You may be saying, well, okay, well that sort of makes sense, but what exactly are you doing these for? Why those at those particular times? Well, they all have a refresh rate, as you can see on the circle behind them. So like right now, I can call another astromech, but if I want to put something else out in the field, I gotta wait. Nothing's ready to go yet. There, now another gun emplacement's ready to go. Okay. Got another one of my leaders ready to go. Hey, gotta call another astromech. It's gonna come from the other side, so I'm gonna put a missile turret over here. Come on, astromech, let's go, let's go, let's go. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And all the while, these guys are doing the automated fighting over here as per a standard real-time strategy type game. All right, we need one more guy for that last Starfighter. Put more of my dudes out there, because they're still attacking. Astromech has made it. And booyah! Victory! But it's all about basically just strategically placing your pieces. They all refresh at slightly different rates. And you see them on. That, by the way, made it look like it went into the tracking ball on the floor, by the way. Okay, so we got that. Now Dejaric. Check out that second Dejaric here that we just saw. Alright, so basically this is, there's the tracking orb, the tracking beacon on the floor. It's as if the table is about 3 feet taller than that. And I can step forward and get closer. I can look around. I can look at my pieces up close. But it does shift a little bit because it's using essentially a gyroscope within the phone. And it's using my view, and it's using cameras that are next to the opening for view on the front of the device to basically track where I'm looking. So, you know, given the fact that this is not super tech, it is going to jiggle around a little bit. So I can point to the Holochess and see their health and their attack, 8 and 4 respectively. Kantan Strider, 8 and 4, 8 and 4. Okay. And instead of using my lightsaber controller to point to anything, I'm going to point with my vision, point with the cursor that's at the center of my eyes, click the activation button. Now it's telling me which squares it can move to, or which circle in this case, and I click it again to move. Then it sends a creature out, in this case attacks. I can then take my Strider and move it, and attack, or I guess move it. Didn't realize I couldn't turn around. Now I take a Strider out there and attack. There we go. Gotta be facing the right direction. Apparently turning around counts as a separate instance for that next time you select him. Oh no! Alright. Just you and me. I have 4, you have 8. You're going to kill me this time. Actually, no, because he'll attack for 4 and I'll still have 2 left and be able to smack him for the other 4 of his health. There we go. Good night! And then progressive games, as you go along, have more different kinds of creatures on the board, but essentially the gameplay is very similar. Move it, and then attack whatever is on an adjacent square or adjacent point, and try to kill them before they can kill you. So all in all, some good stuff. I look forward to unlocking more. If you actually go into your duel mode, you're going to find that you have different things that you have unlocked as you go along. You unlock different ships to use and whatnot, and character types and weapon types to use in the strategic combat. And then for Dejaric, it's different pieces you unlock, whereas in combat, it's a passive force power. Staggering a duelist also recovers health for you, for that particular one. And then force push. Passive is passive, push is the one that basically, as I'm playing, it slowly builds and builds and builds, and then once it's charged, I can use it by hitting the activation button on the control. But you notice, we got at least 2 more force powers to unlock that I haven't unlocked yet. And we've got quite a few passive abilities that aren't unlocked yet. And I should also note, if I hit the menu button, that I can see my progress. Trials of Insight, Trials of Combat, Trials of Leadership. My particular rank in the lightsaber combat, you'll notice there's different levels for each location, except of course for the core, which only has the 2 levels as opposed to a beginner level with it. Trials of Insight, that's the one about doing the Dejaric game. You have your different scenarios there. You have your Trials of Leadership, that's the strategic combat. all listed there. I think it would make more sense if those two were flipped, because that's the order in which they always show up on the screen. And Holocron Mastery. Oh, that's that. There we go. Holocron Mastery tells me that. And then, of course, I can go in to change my settings, and it gives us a hint that there's also some other stuff, I guess, that could be unlocked, because it sure looks like I can unlock other lightsaber colors, green and purple, rather than the standard blue. It'll show the battery power left of your phone, your headset, and your lightsaber controller. You can change your sound settings and turn on 3D sound. Unfortunately, 3D sound only works with headphones, and the lightsaber is attached through Bluetooth, but on an iPhone 7 or higher, I think higher, but definitely 7, the lightning port that you are using to connect the phone to the headset is the same one you'd have to hook up your corded headphones through, because they got rid of the regular headphone jack, of course. But on a phone that does have a free headphone jack, you get to activate 3D sound and put in your headphones and play that way. Although, good luck not winding up getting your lightsaber caught up in your wires. Just a thought. But yeah, a pretty cool game here. Lots of fun stuff. Different levels to unlock, different scenarios per planet to unlock, different planets to unlock, different force abilities to unlock, both passive and active, different things to unlock in Dejarik and in the strategic combat game. So much more than actually meets the eye on first impression. And of course, you get all the hardware with it. You get your tracking beacon that's on the floor for me, but you can't see it here, which is just battery operated. You get your Bluetooth lightsaber controller for tracking and whatnot, and you get the Mirage headset, and then you download the app for free. But if you're thinking, hey, I could play it without having a headset, no, you can't until it's Bluetooth connected to the lightsaber controller. It doesn't progress beyond that point of setup. So no, you would not be able to play this without having the gear, even though it is a free download from the App Store and is meant to go with this game. So that's it, Jedi Challenges. Hope you've enjoyed that quick look, and I'll be back with more if you have any particular requests. Thanks.